Its name's going with the license. Going, 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 going with the, 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 going with the,
Broadcast. Happy weekend. I like to think of the weekend as actually the beginning of the weekend because everything's backwards. Anyways, this next song on the Polynation Broadcast on GroundZeroPlus.com is by a band called the Luna Lounge. They frequent the greenhouse very often on the show, but it's more appropriate today. Because Luna's on the show today, we're going to speak. As they say down there, on the other side of the planet, have a yarn. Over there, apparently she's in a heat wave. But over here, I'm in a deep freeze. But in the greenhouse, it's 24 degrees. So we're gonna kick it. We're gonna pick up where we left off, talking about my gay friend. My gay friend told me I should stop calling them fairy tales. He gets offended. But he's not here, and I don't have a better word, so they're fairy tales it is. If you have a problem with fairy tales, no one read to you as a baby. Now, we're just going to get into the roots, as we like to do in the greenhouse, GroundZeroPlus.com.
day I got my license. I drove into the sea. To swim into our sorrow. And solve this mystery. I crossed the burning bridges. They fought me with success. Instead, I walked the long road. Wonder in his place. Lost treasure.
They say distance lends enchantment to the view. Distance lends enchantment to the view. They say distance lends enchantment to the view. But time can play the same trick too.
You're listening to the Polynation broadcast, which is a live broadcast. We do it every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays from 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Why, you may ask? It's too cold to do anything else today, for one. And I'm sure where my guest is today, it's too hot to do anything else, too. Today on the show, I'm bringing back a really good friend of mine, an old-time friend, probably from a past life even. Luna's on the show today. We're doing a part 2, kind of picking up where we left off. So many things we didn't get to unpack. There's so many stories to cover. So hopefully everything's working properly right now. It appears to be. Luna, are you there? You're muted.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, g'day.
How you doing?
Please let me hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, good. I've been having tech trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we have a bit of a blackout.
Well, that's what they're calling for in the West. I don't know if you've heard, but before we get into what we're going to get into today, we might as well catch up a little bit because a lot's happened since 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I've got some funny things to tell you.
Yeah, so there's this huge storm, or what they call now, it's called a polar vortex, but back in the 70s we used to call that winter. Yeah, exactly. But now it's a polar vortex, and it's going to cause some problems because there's going to be apparently 3 inches of ice, and if that gets on the power lines, then they get knocked over, and people are going to freeze to death, and everybody's panicking, and it's called winter. But it's a really big storm, so everyone's preparing for that. It's supposed to hit, I think the most of it is supposed to hit on Sunday, but we'll see what happens. And really weird, my heater just turned off. Everything else is still working, but my heater just turned off because it's freezing here. I'm north of the storm. I likely won't get hit by any of this, the freezing rain. I'll get hit with like a foot of snow. But I remember as a kid, 40 years ago, we had snow that went like up to my chest.
You were a kid though, weren't you? Smaller?
Yeah. But still, that would be up to my waist now.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know. People should just be prepared, I guess. All my American friends, I feel for you, okay? You guys don't get winters like this. Now you know what it's like to be in Canada. You think this is bad? Do you really want to take Greenland? The weather's worse in Greenland, okay?
Well, over here we're having a heat wave. We're concerned about you fellas over there.
Rub it
But
in,
we're having a heat
Luna.
wave.
Yeah, you're having a heat wave. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, Australia's fucking great. Yeah, heat wave. Yay. Rub it in,
funny
Luna.
Yeah. Well,
It's too hot, isn't it?
Not yet, nah. When I say it's too hot, it's extremely, extremely hot because everyone knows me. I love the hot weather.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about the hot weather this year is down south in Melbourne, yesterday was actually really, really hot, and we're supposed to receive it today. And like you, since I was a kid, I don't remember that. Like the southern was always cooler. We're in the middle, and then the top end is always hotter. And the top end gets a lot of rain. So it was hotter, but they get like a wet season instead of the summer that we get here in Sydney, right? And the summers would last hot from the day summer started. It'd just be hot until it finished. Nothing like that now. One day it's hot, one day it's cold, next day it's raining like mad and nearly flooding, and now we're having a heat wave. It's just all crazy, and I call that change. I don't call it anything else, just change. But I went and bought a sprinkler for the animals because it's going to be that hot.
You've got to make sure and water your animals.
Water animals, yeah.
Yeah,
The wild
when it's
ones.
that hot, see, that's a problem here too. But they're already calling for here, at least in Canada. They're already saying it's January. Okay, it's literally the coldest day that we've ever recorded in Toronto, I think, or something close to that in the top 5 or whatever. They're already saying that the summer coming up is going to be the hottest summer on record ever recorded. Like, wait a second.
And yeah, when were they
You
right?
guys can't even you guys can't even predict 2 weeks ahead of time. And you're telling me that in June it's going to be the hottest it's ever been since we've been recording the weather? So we'll see. We'll see. Remember,
we'll see.
if anybody listening, remember this is what they predicted in January in the West. There's going to be heat wave after heat wave. What's the opposite of a polar vortex? That's what we're going to be in. A solar. What are they going to call it? Oh, there's got to be something funny to call it.
As long as we don't get a real cold winter, because I'll be moving. I've got to tell you something funny about the heat wave. It's not really funny, but I found it funny. I find a lot of things funny. Anyway, so in the desert, it's a desert, so it's actually hotter than normal, but they're hitting really 45 plus, right? And it hasn't rained for a while. There's not much water, and all the camels that are running around the desert all join together and decide to go into town, and they just wreck the town. They knock the taps off the tap things so they could get water. They knock the air conditioners down so they could get the water out of the air conditioner, and then just because they're so big, they'd be like moose, I'd say. No one wants to interfere with them, and they're just wrecking the towns looking for water. So they've asked for a culling, and I'm sitting here laughing, going, they're culling the wrong invasive species.
You should give the camels guns.
Yeah. They should team up with the emus, because remember we had an emu war once, and they wanted to kill all the emus. They should go see the emus and make an army.
Did we talk about the emu war? I don't know if we did. We could do a whole show on that, because that was absolutely hilarious. There's so many weird things going on in there. But I wanted to also express my condolences for your country's loss of a magnificent drummer from one of my favorite bands. Midnight Oil passed away a couple of days ago. So I wanted to express my condolences for that, because they're one of the best bands to come out of Australia, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know what you think about them, but...
Yeah, they were one of the first truth bands singing the truth in a good way.
Yeah, I was listening to their lyrics today, because I'm probably going to be, since we're doing a part 2 today, I'm probably going to do an 80s part 2 tomorrow. Which is what I did last week. I did an 80s show, and it seemed to go over well, and there was some tunes I didn't get to play, but also it gives me a chance to play some of the tunes that maybe people didn't hear from Midnight Oil. Their lyrics were so politically charged.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to all the bands from that day. Like, even, I mean, you thought U2 was politically charged? Like, Midnight Oil was way, way more politically charged than U2, I thought. And I kind of forgot about them for a bit. They kind of disappeared after the 80s. But, yeah, hearing the sad news, it made me remember them. And he will never be forgotten. He's like an insane drummer. He's like up there with Stuart Copeland for me, from The Police.
Yeah, what happened to them is they conned the lead singer into going actually into politics. He entered politics, and it didn't work out too well, and then he left. He should have never done that. He should have stuck to music.
You're kidding me. He went to politics?
Yeah.
Oh, you'd think he would be really good at that. What happened? Did he get just ostracized?
No, I think they found their songs a threat because they were freeing everybody. So they decided to entice the lead singer into Parliament. They probably said, "Oh, look, we love your songs. They're really good. You know, why don't you come into Parliament and voice your opinion there? You'll have more power." It didn't work. They only put him in there to get rid of him, basically. You know, they're dirty tactics. Yeah, and that's why they disappeared, because he took that corner, and obviously there was no more band. He should have just stayed playing music, because today, if they could have birthed other bands if they had have stuck to it. Younger people. Any young people out there that like Midnight Oil, get on the bandwagon and start singing.
It's a little bit of an underground band. I mean, I thought they were famous back in the day because they did have videos on MTV, and I always remember the way that the lead singer danced. He had this really
Oh, yeah.
it was like, I want to describe it as a retarded Carlton dance.
Well, the sad
If you
thing
take the
is-
Carlton dance and make him retarded, that's what he looked like when he danced. But he was a great singer and a great songwriter.
I'm laughing because I'm having flashbacks of the day when we used to go to dances and the men.
And everyone would try to dance like that?
No, well, they actually do dance kind of like that. I wish I could have a visual and I'd show you.
That's
because
amazing.
now we make jokes about back in the day, put on that music. How did they dance back then? The women had a bit more of a move. You get the occasional bloke that had a bit of groove in his body, but all the men would bloody stand there dancing in one continuous thing like that. Yeah. So I wonder if I could get any clips from the old days of Australia, the way the fellas dance. And don't forget, they usually had a can of beer in one hand.
Yeah,
So he had the
well,
microphone in one hand, right?
as you do, exactly, as you do. Probably Foster's.
Oh, no. That's a misconception, people.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? We should clear that up then. Let's
we
clear
should.
that up right now because I
We
happen
need
to be
to clear misconceptions.
I don't think Foster's the worst beer in the world, but it is known for Australia because Paul Hogan.
Yeah, that was advertising, mate.
Yeah. That's not a beer.
So we got Tuies, we got Hey Bee. I don't really like beer myself, but puts me
Yeah.
to sleep. That's not the main one. So I noticed that a lot of stuff they put on telly and that, saying like prawns, right? You call it shrimp on the barbie. We don't even have shrimp; they're prawns. So there's a misconception there. So be careful.
I
You
always-
don't want
you
to
know
look
what?
like a dickhead.
I always thought prawns and shrimp were called those because they're actually different, like species-wise. I could be wrong about that, but I think maybe prawns,
know.
and then there's scampi as well, which is not the same as either of them. But I don't know. That's
Hey, there are. We'll do a show on authentication. We'll authenticate all these things.
yeah. You know what? That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Another good idea is maybe we should try to authenticate these things before we talk about them on the show. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's all right. But
no,
yeah, a lot of Aussie things are different. Like
I wanted
the
to
what they
ask you
tell
about if there's still any news, because in the West, the Bondi shooting, most people have already forgotten about it because there's so many other shootings going on. So,
I know.
I wanted to ask if there's any sort of updates, or if it's still even in the news cycle over there.
Well, everyone's talking about it now, going, was it real, was it not? Because the what do you call them? The people that got injured, okay, they only showed you so many of them. There were other people that got injured. What I think happened is some Australians got injured and they didn't want to tell anyone, because if they tell them that Aussies got shot, there'd be a bit of a riot. So they're only telling you about the non-Australians that got shot. All right, and there's two denominations, obviously.
Right. Yeah, no, I see where you're going with this. That's very interesting to me, but I never even considered that there had been maybe misreported numbers of casualties because they didn't want people... Like, it's kind of the same thing as what I said last time you were on about the guy that took one of those dudes out, like, and grabbed him and stole his gun. Was another Muslim, and they wanted that guy to be white so bad.
No.
They really did, and they're like, "Damn it!" So
Well, we got another. Tomorrow's Australia Day, right? This is funny.
I was
Right,
going
so
to ask
tomorrow's
you about
Australia
that.
Day. Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
I'm a bit concerned. If you want to kill an Aussie, Australia Day is the day to do it, right?
Well, we have Thanksgiving here.
Um, so we've got Australia Day coming up. Um, I forgot what I was going to say now about Australia Day. Oh yeah, I remember. Um, so for us traditional people, that Aboriginal people, Australia Day used to be called Invasion Day, right? And it wasn't
Invasion
on the
Day?
yes, Invasion Day, because that was the day that we got invaded by the whitefellas. That's the day they landed here in Sydney, and Sydney's called Ground Zero. Okay, so it was Invasion Day. Now the actual Australia Day for the whitefellas was on a different day, and they changed it in the last 100 years. It's been changed a few times. It used to be in April, right? And you can and they used to put out little buttons. What do they call them? Little badges, and they'd have Australia Day and the date on them, and the 1900s and all that. So if anyone, we've got the Muslims and that out in the street going, oh, the Aboriginal people were oppressed. It isn't Australia Day, it's Oppression Day, blah, 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 blah. And we're pissed off because it wasn't even that day. The 26th wasn't even Australia Day. If they did their research, it was another day. They just moved it around, but it was always Invasion Day. So we changed it from Invasion Day, right, to Survival Day, because we all, got to learn that like each other.
That's not much better. Yeah, you know what? We need a better name for this day. Let's call it Survival Day. Yeah, all right.
So what we do on Australia Day is show our culture, to show that our culture had survived. And we were getting on a really nice medium there, right? Australia Day, and that it did get a little tricky because everyone's going, maybe we should separate it again, considering that the actual Australia Day had been moved around in the last 100 years anyway. But we never got to that because all of a sudden this happened, the shooting happened and everything. And they're already destroying some of our statues and that for Australia, so we're under attack, like people are getting a bit out of hand. And now we got Australia Day, and I'm like, oh, so I did my bit. I got the Aboriginal flag and Australian flag flying out the front of my house. I hope it's still there. I've got to go and check. Someone might have tore it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll lift it. Like if you find something on the street here, you pick it up because no one owns it.
Wow.
And because it's facing the street, it's easy for someone just to come and take it. And you'll know if they take it, obviously it's disrespectful. If it's still there after tomorrow, I'm right. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting tomorrow, Australia Day. Oh, that's right, because it was Invasion Day. So it was Invasion Day, Survival Day. Now, all us blackfellas are saying to all the whitefellas, we're going to put it back to Survival Day because it's you fellas that have to survive now.
Good point. Yeah, good point. As a white fella, it would seem to me that we need to make as many friends as possible. We need allies.
Yeah.
And ones that can take a joke.
What's that saying about the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Right, yeah. Yeah, wasn't that like Genghis Khan or something? Or, yeah, I don't know who that was. Wise words, though.
Yeah, it's in Australia, it's a bit like that. I'm like, blackfellas, whitefellas are unite, and it's like, hey, man, we've been invaded again. We need to sort this out. And because we've been through it again once already, we know exactly what's going to happen. So they need to listen to us, and we can guide them through it, and they'll survive.
Hey, what is the Australian perspective, mainstream or otherwise, like what you've consumed, about the capture of Venezuelan President Maduro? Like they literally just like went to another country and took their president from them. And
what our reaction is?
Brought him back to New York.
Oh, we've got a hand up in the air going, hey, come and get our Prime Minister, please.
That's brilliant. That's not what I was expecting as an answer, but that's amazing.
fair income is like that. Like, yeah, we're ready to pack him up and ship him out. If they want to pick him up, we're quite happy with that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea for this country either.
Yeah, let's just pack him up, put the suitcase out the door, and kick him out.
I don't think Carney's going to put up much of a fight. And you know what? Lately, Carney's been a little bit antagonistic towards Trump, so he's asking for it. He's gonna get captured. All they need is 2 Black Hawks and 4 dudes with sonic weapons, and they could catch him. No one's gonna stop him at the Canadian border. There's no one here except Americans.
We'll have our fella wrapped up with a big red bow on him, right, waiting. Yeah, that's funny, the reaction. So when we heard that, we're like, yeah, come and get our fellow. We don't want him anymore.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, well, what do you guys think about the acquisition of Greenland from the U.S.? Is there any talk of that down there?
That's a bit more puzzling.
It is, isn't it?
I'm truly, Polly, I think we need to look at the levels below it, because you know how they say we're doing this because of that. There's something else. My little spider senses are going off, going, there's something else going on up there.
I think there is too, and I think it might. This is just a way far out there speculation, and I wasn't planning on talking about this. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but apparently some people believe that sometimes the Earth's axis actually tilts 90 degrees. And so if you do that with the orbit of the Earth as it is now, when you tilt it 90 degrees, Greenland is actually equatorial. So it moves from being like really cold and it goes closer to the equator.
Well, it was called Greenland.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was. Why did they call it Greenland?
It depends whether you're what shape you.
Well, they don't have green snow, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I've flown over it. It's not green. It's white. You know what? I know. I just figured it out. They couldn't call it White Land because that's racist. That's why.
If it was named by Australian, they would have. We got a place called Blacktown.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean. Yeah, I guess.
They would have said them.
It doesn't mean the same thing as it does in LA. I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. And like I said, it depends on the shape of things. You know, if you're what shape the Earth really is and what it really is to what's going on up there, because it's an epicenter. Right, it's right next to the center there. Yeah, those things are going to come out, the truth, because we're in the apocalypse or whatever they call it, which is the unveiling of truth.
It feels
and the
like
veil, yeah, the veil's very thin. Everyone can see the truth through it now, and it's going to thin even more. And everyone's going to go, oh, even people like me, we think we know everything, but we don't. So, yeah, there's stuff happening there. And anyone that's listened to me and Donnie talk, we've been telling people this. There's going to be a thing coming where everyone in the world's going to go, oh, because it's just something we never put in our lives. It'll be okay. It's not a bad thing. The only fear will come out of us not knowing what it is.
Well, I got a question for you. Do you think that it's okay? A lot of people are waking up, or whatever you want to call it, becoming aware.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because there's something happening within these people, or is it because the people that are presenting lies, deception, and control are just getting more obvious about it? Like because to me, I don't know if it's because I know what to look for now, or if it's because they just don't care anymore. If anyone sees it, whatever, I don't care. We'll just do it anyways.
It's like, all right, we'll explain this as in people. So you've got you're like 6 people, say 2 or 3 of them people just bullshit all the time and harass the other people. And for a long time they got away with it. And then after time goes by, because they've put so much bullshit there and so much lies and all that, the energy is quite massive. Everyone can see it now. They can't hide it behind anything. Because when you sell a small lie, or a small deception, you can actually hide it amongst the truth. But after a while, it gets too big, and you can't hide it anymore, basically. And when we'll go back to the person, and the person that's doing it can't hide it anymore, and then all the people around them can see it, and then the people around them can start to see it. They'll walk over and look and go, oh yeah, I can see that. It's so obvious now, because they've just brewed up the biggest dark cloud ever, and it's obvious. You can't hide it anymore. And then when you can't hide it, it starts to implode, because that kind of energy turns in on itself. It's destructive, not creative. So instead of developing like a flower and creating outward and outward and outward, it implodes on itself. And that's what we're seeing. It's got as big as it can, and now it will start to implode inside itself, because that's just the nature of things. It's just how it goes. There's a universal law, or the law of nature, whatever way you want to call it. None of us can escape it. We can all try, and it doesn't matter how much money or science you throw at it, it's still going to be the same.
So, what do you think about this? That there's this whole concept of free will, and that they're not the people that are trying to do all these negative things to humanity and hide or increase the size of the veil as opposed to it being torn away. The whole free will concept means that it's kind of like they're not lying to us. So we're giving them a consent in a way, but the more that they dumb us down with all these technologies, like, and I'm not speaking about us specifically, but just in general of the population, especially in the West, with things like TikTok and, Instagram and all these like short attention span, instant gratification mindsets have turned people into what they would think would be easier to just say, well, we're actually going to just do this to you, and you're not going to care because you'll still have whatever you want. You just won't own it. And you'll be happy. You won't. And the only reason why you're happy is because we told you we were going to do it, and you didn't say no. But you're still going to be happy.
Yep, so it's like going to the shops and you go to buy milk, and there's like 100 milks to choose from, and 10 different breads you can buy, and 100 different kinds of biscuits. So there's so much choice, and they give you all that choice, so you don't realise that your actual real choices are very narrow. And your free will, you haven't used it because you're being tricked and you don't know it. Once you know you're being tricked, then your free will can kick in and you go, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. But still, like the supermarket, there's 100 choices to give you the illusion that you're free and you have choice. But they can't do anything. They can't do anything to you without your say-so. That's where your free will comes in.
Yeah, the amount of choice in everything, it seems like, especially in the first 3 weeks of this year, it takes almost longer to make a choice if you want to look at all the choices you have to choose from. Then by the time you make a choice, it doesn't matter anymore because there's something else to choose from that you have to focus your attention on. It really is. I think some people, especially, I hope I'm not wrong here, but from my generation and older, so I'm generation, I think I'm a millennial. I'm not sure. All I know for sure is that there's a Gen X, millennial. I think I'm in the middle of that. So I'm an Xennial. There's a micro generation. And it's known for being one of the last groups of people, demographically speaking, of course, that went from staying outside until the street lights came on before video games pretty much really caught on, kind of thing, and no internet, no cell phones, and we saw both sides of it. Whereas people that are born after the digital revolution, I guess I could call it, which I would say happened in the mid 90s. Maybe it really started catching on in the mid 90s. So anyone born in, 95 or after doesn't really know a world where you can't just pick up a keyboard and talk to somebody.
Yep.
And not only that, you can say whatever the fuck you want, and even if they get offended, you can just flip the switch and turn them off. See ya. No consequences. It's raising different people, right? So
Yeah, it is. It is. Different mindsets.
it's interesting to see the difference of the mindsets, but it's also interesting to note that some of the younger generations, and I think I want to call them Gen Zs. I could be wrong, but I have a sister who's, I think, allegedly Gen Z, and incredibly woke, like more woke than most of the lefties. I mean, like but she doesn't walk around screaming it. You know what? And so, and she's going. There's a lot of people from this generation that are going back to like very spiritual ideas, and some of them are even turning to religion, which is, I don't know if it's good or bad, but it seems like religion has done, I think, less harm as far as how you treat other human beings than social media platforms do, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be a good thing. But anyways, way off topic. I just wanted to catch up with you before we really take a deep dive into...
Yeah.
We're probably going to have to do quite a few of these shows because there's a lot to unpack for each story.
Fairy tales.
Fairy tales, yeah.
But it's not just fairy tales, because some of the
Folklore.
little nursery rhymes also.
Yeah.
There's a whole...
Yeah.
Like even Santa Claus comes into that.
We could, you know what? We should save that until next Christmas, because there's some weird Santa Claus stuff that I could point out that has to do with mushrooms. But yeah, that's it, and chimneys, the whole thing. It's weird. Maybe I already did it, but we could do it again next year. Next Christmas.
The mushrooms.
Yeah,
that's what I got a note here. It says mushroom, and I'm thinking, what do I write mushroom for? The mushroom lady. I wrote the mushroom lady. I'm thinking, what the hell? Mushroom lady. We all know what the mushroom lady is.
You picked a couple of stories. I'm not sure if we're going to get to all of them today, but which one do you want to start with first?
I don't know. Let me pull up my... Hang on. Oh no. Hang on. I'm trying to navigate here.
So you know what? While you do that, I'll play like a couple. I'll play a couple tunes, and even just give us a little teaser, because there's so many to choose from.
Right.
We talked briefly about a few of them last time, but we didn't really deep dive into many of them.
Well, some of them there's only so much that you can say, and I've fished around.
I think we did a good job of Jack and the Beanstalk, so we don't need to go back there.
Yeah, that was good. No, and we got a plethora.
Right.
We got Rumpelstiltskin, Cinderella.
Oh, you know what? Let's do the Rumpelstiltskin stuff.
Yeah, there's not a great deal, but what you find out is like, what? That wasn't what I was told.
Exactly.
And we got the Ugly Duckling. There's one that not many people talk about, Ugly Duckling.
Yeah, I forgot about that one too, actually. I remember the story, though. The frog... Is that a story about immigration?
No. It's actually about a person. It's actually when you know what it's about, it's like, oh... But, the Ugly Duckling,
okay,
we'll talk about it.
We'll definitely talk about the Ugly Duckling and Rumpelstiltskin. And
whatever else we can fit in.
I'm sure we'll get distracted by something. But in the meantime, while you pull up all that stuff, I'm going to play Sunshine in My Window, because this is the Polynation broadcast. That's what we do here in the greenhouse. Sometimes I just got to let you hear a tune, or two, or three. We'll be right back. More with me and Luna when the Polynation broadcast resumes. It's not stopping, but, well, you know what I mean. Anyways, here we go.
Sun shining in my window, can't bear to look outside. Been a couple of days since you left, should see how I've cried. Been a couple of days since you left me all alone. You left your husband and ruined your happy home. Since you left me, you should see how I've cried. Sun shining in my window, can't bear to look outside.
GroundZeroPlus.com, Polynation Broadcast. Be back soon with more. Polynation Broadcast. live on groundzeroplus.com. And sometimes I post it on my YouTube channel. It depends on the music and the topic, clearly. Because YouTube, you know how they work. Everyone knows how they work. Doesn't matter. Sometimes I do it. I actually posted part 1 of this show recently. If you want to go check that out. Be My Guest. You can find me on YouTube. I think it's the number 1 in front of Polynation. That's it. Anywho, we're in the greenhouse with Luna, and we're going to get into we're going to dive deeper into specific stories. So, I'm not sure where you want to start, because you mentioned some really good ones before we went on that little interlude.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? I could start.
I'll do Rumpelstiltskin, because some of them, like last week I pulled up some really interesting stuff, and this week I've looked and it's not as interesting, but still I'll just go through what I have. So Rumpelstiltskin, where's my big list of stuff? Rumpelstiltskin, the story we're told, the real story is a lot more gruesome. So Rumpelstiltskin, the stories like what we're told is there's the lady and she, what's the soft story? Now I know the hard story. It's hard to remember the soft story. And the soft story, I think a girl gets married to the king's son, and she said she can make gold, so they get married, and then she's got to spin gold out of hay, and Rumpelstiltskin turns up to do it, and he says to her, I'll do it if, hang on, I'll just get my words out of my box, they're not coming through my mouth right. I'll do it if you give me your firstborn child. And when that happened, the only way she could stop that from happening was to find out his name. But the true story, it was a bit more deeper than that. It was the first time, so it was a lady, same, she married this guy, and the father claimed that she could spin gold out of hay. So that's how the father got her married off. So that left her in a dilemma. So she did ask Rumpelstiltskin to help her, and first he demanded a necklace, and then he demanded a ring. And what happened, every time she spun the gold out of straw, the king wanted more and more, because as most stories, the greed set in. She'd already gave the necklace, already gave the ring, that's all she had. And she was locked down in the dungeoning club area. So she promised her child. But he threatened that he would chop her head off. It was a lot more gruesome. The threats to her were a lot more gruesome than we're told when we're a child. Mm-hmm. And when she found out his name, and the way she found out his name was the same, she went into the woods and found him dancing around the fire, singing a little song with his name in it, because Rumpelstiltskin is like a goblin, like a little goblin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and his name was Rumpel. And from what I've looked around, Stiltskin is actually just an added thing. So it's like saying Jack with the wobbly leg. It's Rumpel, and he's a Stiltskin. Do you get what I'm saying? So his name's Rumpel.
From what I can tell, it comes from 2 words in Old German, but this only goes back to like the 1800s. And Rumpelin means to make a racket, and Stiltskin means suggests a wooden peg or goblin-like figure.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, they were like little poltergeists, running around. They were very mischievous spirits. And when I heard that version of it, it's a mischievous spirit, I thought that, there's a big percentage that these things were real, that it had some reality to it, because we all know spirits and that are real. So yeah, Rumpelstiltskin. Well, and when
you were talking about how it was an obsession over somebody who could turn something that is generally considered worthless
into gold.
Do you know what does that today? Which reminds me a lot of Rumpelstiltskin today? The Federal Reserve.
I was just going to say something like that.
They literally turned something worthless into gold.
Yeah, I know.
And as all we have to do to stop this, folks, is guess his name. And
His real name.
I'll give you a clue. It's not Trump. And it's not Macron. And it's not.
Depends what country you're in.
It's not Jesus. It's not somebody that we know of. He's kept his name very, very well. Maybe it might be Fink or somebody like that, or maybe Klaus Schwab. You'd think
Klaus
if you
Schwab.
didn't. I mean, Rumpelstiltskin isn't a hard name to say, like phonetically speaking. So
True.
if I wanted somebody to not guess my name, I would make it really hard to say, like very difficult.
Yep.
And no one has done that except for, well, the person whose name cannot be said. Because no one knows what it is. He just keeps printing gold out of nothing. So that's interesting that there's that concept of making gold out of nothing. To me, that also...
It's a running theme.
Yeah, it goes back to like even older sort of esoteric beliefs, or I don't know if you want to call them beliefs, but like the whole thing about alchemy is turning lead into gold.
Transmutation, yep.
Right. So isn't it interesting that an alchemical fundamental principle has been almost demonized in this story?
Yep.
Because it's a goblin. So maybe goblins are good.
I never met one, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, I did meet one goblin, but his name was Dave, so it was easy to guess. It was really easy to guess.
That's funny. Yeah, it's funny about names because in the magic realm, and everyone knows, but even in the Christian realm, if you have the name of something, you have dominion over it, right? Magic realm, same. If you got the name, you got dominion over it. Now, this is my opinion. I don't know what anyone else thinks, so you can think what you want, but this is my opinion. So when it comes to Creator, the Most High, given that this world runs on energies the way it does, and we know what names mean and that, why would the Most High give us the true name when knowing that?
Yeah, good question.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the ones that we have no names for, that's why. Because when you have something's name, you can have dominion over it in the magic realm. So Creator, yeah, no one actually knows Creator's real name for that reason.
And
Where
also,
all the dark things have a names.
well, another thing that I found interesting about the whole Rumpelstiltskin thing is that he's described as half helpful, half menace. And
Yes.
that, to me, ties into pretty much the entire world we're living in right now. Especially when it comes to things like AI or automation.
Don't get me going.
Or, I mean, no, this is what we're doing. We're ripping apart these stories because all we're doing right now is rewriting the same stories over and over again because they've always been there, right? And this is going to tie into something later on in the show that people are just going to have to stay tuned for, speaking of stories and writing them, and where it is that you get them from. Where did these people get these stories from?
Yeah, some sort of reality.
It's almost like we're just describing laws at some point.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's where they come from. Like, I was looking at the three pigs. Well, just quickly, there's nothing really to see there, the three little pigs. But the reason there's nothing really to see there is because that was made for the same thing. The Three Little Pigs was a story for you to learn that making a straw house quickly is quick comfort, but in the long term, it's no good to you. That's all the story's for, is to tell you how to live. Like, it's better to build a brick house or a stone house than it is to be comfortable quickly and build something that won't last. And that's all the Three Little Pigs was actually designed for, that story.
That's interesting, because that actually, it kind of relates into the same sort of ideas that Rumpelstiltskin is allegedly trying to portray in the underlying message of the whole story, which is turning straw into gold was a fantasy of escaping poverty by magic rather than sweat or work.
Yes.
And the moral of the story is the bill always comes due.
Oh yeah,
Right?
There's always.
So
Always.
where do these ideas come from? I mean, why?
They have to be based in reality.
These are some of the
somewhere.
oldest stories that we know of, and they take inspiration from stories that are even older, which I hope to get into at some point. Doing these shows with you, but I just think it's interesting that when you really break down what the story is talking about and the lessons that it's trying to teach, and then you look at where we are today, it's like nobody fucking read the story or got what it's supposed to teach us.
Because basically, don't be lazy, otherwise it'll lead you down a really dark path. I know exactly what you're saying, Polly, because we've got AI now, and it's the same as having Rumpelstiltskin do stuff for us. It's magically happening, right? But there is a payback for it. Like, what is it? And it's
They're not telling us what it is.
Well, it has control over you. Rumpelstiltskin had control over her the whole time.
Exactly.
Until the very end, when she found out his real name. And the other thing I wanted to say too is about the gold. This is a misconception. Now, the only thing gold's worth is to heal, for healing, right? Basically, and you can use it for magic stuff, but it's basically for healing. And even in saying that, it's silver that is the star. Silver, in the old days, was what am I saying? All right, so the rich people had silver basically in the old days.
Yeah, that's where the whole cliche of
silver
spoon comes from, right? Like,
yeah,
if you grew up with a silver spoon, it means you came from a wealthy family.
And the reason they had silver spoons, Polly, was because every time they ate with a silver spoon, silver acts like an antibiotic.
It does, yeah.
Right? So every time they ate with a silver spoon, they were strengthening their immune system, and the poor people were getting less. They weren't eating off silver spoons, and they hardly had any food, right? And there's a misconception. The funny thing I find now is that in this day and age, everyone's starting to wake up, and silver is more expensive than gold, right? And they've realised that it really lies in the silver, not the gold.
Well, silver has done some pretty amazing things in the past year. As far as the stock market's concerned, it's the value of it's, like, I think almost tripled, if not more than that. I could be wrong, but it's close to that. I know I'm not too far off, but it's going nuts. And one of the things that's interesting about silver too is that there's a lot of it still in the earth.
Yep.
And people are selling it already, though. So people are selling the silver that we haven't got out of the earth yet. And once it comes time to deliver that silver, it's going to be really hard to do because there isn't any. So that's also why it's going up too. But that's kind of the antithesis of what this lesson is teaching. In order to get silver out of the ground, what does it take? It takes a lot of work. You can't just like magically suck it out of the mountain. You got to dig a hole, mine it out, refine it. There's like a lot of work involved. So you can't get that for nothing either.
Humans make me laugh that way. Like yesterday it was gold, today it's silver. Let's make something really mundane important. You know what I mean?
You mean like diamonds?
Well, even that, they reckon diamonds are rare and they're actually not. That was just to make you pay a lot of money for them.
That's a whole.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's make something out of nature. Really, that's really mundane, important, and we can. No.
Well, I've often heard of gold being related to the sun and silver being related to the moon.
To the moon, yeah, I've heard that too.
But my question to that is, if there was a time, we've talked about a time before the moon many times.
Yes, we have.
If there was a time before the moon, then that doesn't really go back that far, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. See, yeah, in the ultimate wisdom, when you look at all the knowledge like that and you go back, you just sit back and go, well, there's nothing to worry about, because you know that everything was changed somewhere along the line. I get to that point, what we just got to, but if you look back here, there was no, oh, don't worry, everything's going to be okay.
Right. Well, I mean, in a way, if you put yourself in the shoes of this girl who's being controlled by somebody, and that it's bizarre because it's literally a contract. Like, if you can guess my name, which he thinks is impossible, like if you can achieve something that I perceive as impossible, then I'll let you go. Or you're free. I'll get a new one. But so another moral that comes through in this story is that and I disagree with this, but I'm reading this from ChatGPT. The peasant girl wins not by strength, but by naming the thing that controls her. And I want to disagree with that, because I think there's got to be a level of strength, or at least tolerance, to sit there and spin hay into gold and get paid a couple quarters at the end of the day until you guess this asshole's name. That takes a little bit of strength, in my opinion. So I disagree with that a little bit. But she wins by naming
patience.
Right, yeah. But just by naming the thing that controls you doesn't seem to be enough these days, because a lot of people admit to being controlled by short-term social media gratification. They admit to it. Oh, my screen time's off the charts. Like, people admit to it. It's like if they had they could have another job by the amount of time they spend on their screen. Like phone, computer, whatever you want to call it. Like, it doesn't matter. Add them all up.
Unless they're like me. Unless they're like me, Polly, and I put it on, and then I walk away and go and do something, and it looks like I'm on there, but I'm not.
Yeah, I do that all the time too. Yeah.
Oh, another thing about Rumpelstiltskin, he had no friends, obviously, because if you've got friends, they know what your name is, so you can't pull that trick on anybody. If you got no friends, you can pull that trick because there's no one to go to say, what's that fella's name?
Right.
Yeah, so he had no friends.
Well, that's all. Yeah, that's another interesting thing, I guess, to note, that because you often find that main characters in some of these stories tend to be loners. Like, you know what I mean? They don't have, like, huge groups of people helping them to achieve whatever it is they're trying to achieve in the story. By the way, Rumpelstiltskin was written by Brothers Grimm in 1812. So that's a pretty old story. But
all right. Well, let's jump to. I think it's the same one. Oh no, that's a different one. I'm thinking of Hans Christian Andersen. That's Brothers Grimm.
Right.
And Brothers Grimm, they wrote the other ones we were talking about last week as well. So some of them.
So there's Brothers Grimm. I remember a few other ones. There's Mother Goose. Everybody knows Mother Goose. Yeah. And then there's Aesop. Did you ever hear of Aesop?
I have heard that name, rings a bell. Ding.
Yeah, he wrote a few ones that you would probably recognize. Maybe we'll save Aesop for another episode.
Okay.
Because I'm sure he's written stories that you've heard of, or you have versions of down there.
Probably.
So I think we covered everything from Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, I think so.
I just want to throw in one last thing. It's kind of silly, but when I was a kid, I thought Rumpelstiltskin was like, because they describe him as a goblin, right? And I thought the reason why they called him Rumpelstiltskin is because he had to walk around on wooden stilts to be the same height as everybody. Otherwise, nobody would do what he would tell them to do.
Well, when I read
You're not just going to listen to this little dude that's like 2 feet tall telling you to fucking spin hay into gold. It'd be like, kick him in the face. No way. You do it. But if he's the same height as you, it might be a little bit different.
Well, I thought it was like steel skin. I thought he stole someone's skin. Like,
Oh,
Your
yeah. See,
shapeshifter.
isn't that strange how different sides of the world interpret the same word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, his name was Rumpel and he stole other. He was a shapeshifter. That's what I think.
Oh, I have dirtier jokes about Rumpelstiltskin, but I'll leave
I
them off.
I know.
I'll leave them
I
off.
know. Yeah, because they can't see me blush on radio.
No, exactly. Right. Yeah. Okay. We won't get into that. Maybe
All
that
right.
would segue good into the ugly duckling.
Yeah, so I've got the ugly duckling pulled up. Well, the thing about the ugly duckling, the story we all know, there's nothing dark about the story or anything. The only thing is it was actually a real person. The ugly duckling was based on a real person, and it was the writer, Hans Christian Andersen himself. So he was awkward. He was an awkward child, and he wasn't the best looking kind of guy and all that sort of thing. He was the ugly duckling. And he was abnormally tall. He had knobby knees and elbows that stuck out, giant feet. He was not graceful.
I already want to make fun of him. You had me
And he
at
had a big nose.
Luna. You had me at knobby knees. That's it. I was gonna point and laugh.
And he kind of had a sad, a bit of a sad, lonely life until obviously he wrote the stories and stuff and things changed. But The Ugly Duckling was based on him, which I found really interesting.
That is interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's all I found, and they won't let me in to tell anymore. So, what else have we've got?
Well, hang on. Let's dwell on the ugly duckling for a little
You want to
minute
get on?
here.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Oh.
when I look back on that story, I remember I had the book when I was very young, probably less than 5
Yes.
years old. I remember some of the drawings in it. It was very good artwork, but to me it was about an abandoned orphan, or somehow this swan ended up in the same nest as a duck,
Yeah.
and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
Until the ugly duckling grew into a swan, and then everybody was like, "Wow, you're so cool."
Yep.
To me, that story taught me about adoption.
That's funny.
Because people were I remember, like, they had these things, these dolls you could have in the 80s called Cabbage Patch Kids. And it basically just taught kids about adoption. You just sign a piece of paper and you can have a baby. Here you go. You buy it. It comes in a box. Isn't that
know
weird?
something
That's
funny?
evolved a little bit, I'd say.
I want to throw something in there about Cabbage Patch dolls because I just have to. So I had my first son at that time, and I'm a very small woman, and he was born very small. And when I brought him home, we realised that back then they never made tiny clothes for babies. So my mum went out to the markets and bought Cabbage Patch doll clothes.
Oh, no way. That's hilarious. And they fit?
We dressed him in Cabbage Patch doll clothes.
That's good
Till he
thinking.
got a bit bigger.
That's good thinking. I hope he's not listening because he'll be embarrassed.
I was just thinking that. No, he's not.
Oh, that's funny.
But
Whatever.
it was
We're
funny,
talking
Cabbage Patch
about
Dolls.
we're talking about like nursery stories and stuff. He shouldn't be embarrassed. Yeah, don't worry about it, son.
So to me, The Ugly Duckling was a story for all those people that were the odd ones out, like him. He was the odd one out. But for all them people to realise that one day they'd turn into a beautiful swan, and that meant that whatever gifts lied inside them, they'd grow into it. Like when you grew up, that you'd find your place.
Yeah.
That's what that story meant to me. And you'd find, and you'd find out who you truly are, which is very important because a lot of people don't even know themselves enough to know who they truly are.
Well, the ending
Whatever.
of that story doesn't really, once the swan turns into a swan, it kind of is like that's the happy ending.
Yep.
But what I want to know is, did he try to go find his parents? Or
I
some,
don't
you know what I
know.
mean? Like, okay, now he's a swan. Did he try to go find other swans? Or like, did he, oh wait, he did find other swans, but not his
Yeah, I
parents.
think once you know, they just come, attraction.
In a way, it kind of also promotes a tribalism.
Yep.
Like, it's obvious that he didn't belong where he was when he was an ugly little bird. right? Like, and that's
Yeah.
the whole thing. Like, part of the story is get made fun of. He looks different than everybody. He's an outcast. But then
Yeah.
he grows up and everyone's jealous of him. And then he finds his own kind and says, "Fuck off. I'm going to be with my own kind.
Yeah.
You guys were assholes to me when I was growing up. So see ya."
And what it brings to mind too, I don't know if any people have seen this. There was a little video of a duck with her babies, and she had a nest, but in the nest was a crocodile egg, right, or a little alligator egg. And so the duck brought all the eggs up as her own. And what happened? The little crocodile never ate them. That was his family, so he'd go out hunting and protect them from any predators.
Yeah, you know what else? You could look at that. You could look at the same story, Ugly Duckling, from a totally different perspective, and that is just a lesson on how Mother Nature works. And I'm using the word mother specifically there because I'm implying of the law of motherhood. Oftentimes you see animals that don't belong there that have been adopted by a totally different species of animal, right? Like, I've seen cats raise baby deer. I've seen, lions help baby lions or baby elephants. There's all kinds of weird cross-species relationship that is almost exemplified, I'd say pretty well exemplified, in the Ugly Duckling story, if you want to look at it from like a nature, how animals act towards one another no matter what species they are. If something's abandoned, usually nature will, if it's important to be in the world, nature will find a way to help it survive, whether that's bringing in another species or not.
The mother duckling, to her, that he was beautiful. Like the Ugly Duckling was beautiful to her because she was the mum. She loved them all, no matter what.
Yeah,
it didn't matter what they looked like.
He had a beak only a mother could love.
Yeah, but you're right, Polly. That nurturing, what mothers
it's instinctual,
have, it's really important, and that's kind of slipping away in this world. We're not being that nurturing's not there, like it used to be.
I would say slipping away it's definitely slipping away, but I think a better way to describe it is it's being almost surgically removed. Because I think if a lot of people that don't realize they have this motherly instinct in them were put under the right circumstances, they would definitely astound themselves at what they could accomplish.
Yeah, they would.
I mean, I've seen ladies lift 3,000-pound cars off of their son.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen it, but there's video of it.
Yeah. There's definitely something in there. I met that having a heap of kids. The protective force inside of them is phenomenal when it comes forward. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Don't mess with the mama.
Right, but I mean, it's trans. It's trans species. It basically applies to all life on the planet.
Yes.
You can even see the same behavior in trees. They've measured this by measuring the. They mark like a chemical and then they put it in the ground, and then they see where the trees put that chemical out into the other parts of the forest through the mycelium in the soil. It's crazy. They can pick out who needs more help and who doesn't, and who's a different species and who isn't, and they literally just take care of each other. It's a motherly instinct.
And like dandelions only grow where the soil's poor, and they'll grow there until that element that it needs is in the soil, and then it'll stop growing. They'll stop growing there and grow somewhere else.
Yep.
Yep. See that beautiful energy, that creative, beautiful, nurturing energy, which every human has, would make this earth so much better, because that's what she runs on. And it's been surgically removed. We need to shoot that surgeon.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so that's the Ugly Duckling. What else have I got for you? Rapunzel.
Oh, Rapunzel's a good one too. Yeah. I remember they had a funny cartoon about Rapunzel on Looney Tunes, but I can't quite remember all of it.
Oh,
but it was
there's two kind of versions I found of Rapunzel, and when the first version I think is the older version. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's not very nice, Polly.
No, it's not. Well,
It's actually
let's get into the dark side of it first before I make fun of this, because as a kid, when I first heard this story, I had questions,
okay.
and I'll let you know what those are after.
All right. So the first Rapunzel I found in 1634 is in Italy, and this is where again, because it's an old country and the origins, it'd have to be true somewhere for it to happen. So there was a young girl, Pescadosia, I think her name was. She was sold to the ogres by her mother. Apparently her mother stole parsley from the ogres, and the ogres were angry.
Interesting.
And she,
Parsley.
Pescadosia, was
That's-
only 7 years old.
That's a very specific parsley. Well, I wonder why parsley.
Yeah.
I never noticed
Well,
that.
in another story, it's herbs. It's healing herbs.
Mhm.
In another story, I'm tend more to believe it's healing herbs than parsley. But parsley is actually a healing herb.
But it
so,
can be, yeah.
You know, yeah. If you
Interesting.
boil parsley up, you can drink the water. It's got all the vitamins you need in the parsley, right? So yeah, I'm more likely to say it was actually healing herbs.
Mhm.
The ogres grew the healing herbs. Okay. So anyway, she stole the medicine from the ogres, and they wanted a 7-year-old daughter, and they locked her 7-year-old daughter up in a tower.
Sounds like the cartel.
Then she fell in love. Yeah, I was thinking that it's like human trafficking, man,
This is
all
like
over again.
cartel stuff. Don't steal our weed or we'll lock you up in a tower.
Oh, maybe that's the healing herb. Maybe that's why. She apparently, she falls in love with the prince and tries to escape, but the ogres come after him. And they're saved by magical acorns. Now, these magical acorns get the animals to kill the ogres. I'm thinking, what? That's a new one?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
No, I've never,
Wow.
not much about magical acorns. So these, yeah,
I wonder.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah, I wonder what the magical acorns are representative of.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
But they
have to-
make the animals turn against the ogres. So sometimes I wonder who the bad people are. Okay, so that's the Italian version. French version.
So, I always thought Rapunzel was the one who let her hair out of the tower so the dude could climb up and
Yeah.
rescue her. But I was like, wait a
Well,
minute, how are they going to climb down her hair?
She's still going to be left up there.
How are they going to get down? That doesn't make any sense. And another thing, if she's only 7 years old when she gets put up in this tower, I haven't seen a 7-year-old with hair that long ever in my entire life.
No.
So how does her hair get that long? There's
From
some
being,
loopholes in
not
this story.
Well, back then women had very long hair. You can go even in the late 1800s, 1900s. So women's hair grew to the floor. We never cut it.
Yeah, but you weren't born with it.
You're born with hair, but not that long.
Not that long, exactly. It takes
Yeah,
It takes
no, it grows.
time to grow hair that long, unless you really just sit down and push really hard. Which I guess
That's what the
if you're,
herbs are for.
I guess if you're locked in a tower, then I guess you got nothing better to do.
Yeah, true. That's what the magical herbs are for, to make hair grow. No. So basically that's the story until the Brothers Grimm told us the version that we know that admits ogres and child trafficking. So.
That's the story that I remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't have good memory about the ogres and stuff. You know, Rapunzel was never my favorite story, anyways. But there's definitely things to look back on that because
Yeah.
I mean, being in a captured, put in a tower, and waiting for someone to come and rescue you is, in my opinion, not something that we should be. You shouldn't put all your eggs in that basket, is what I'm saying. Because if you can figure a way out, you should do it. Why didn't she tie her hair to the freaking windowsill and lower herself down instead of having this guy climb up? Like, it encouraged me to, first of all, don't steal anybody's herbs. Just grow your own, people. It's not that hard. And it's not illegal in most places anymore. You can grow parsley anywhere, I think, now. It used to be illegal. But yeah, grow your own parsley. It's really easy to grow. It's very medicinal.
I want the magical acorns. We got to find them, Polly.
Yeah, this is the one part of the story that's really fascinating me, the magical acorns. It must be something else, because
we'll go ask the squirrels.
They won't tell you. They won't tell you. They just
no.
They just chirp at you and run away.
We haven't got them.
You think? Yeah, squirrels don't have the largest attention span either.
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling to find the moral in this story. There really isn't one, except don't sell your daughter or steal parsley.
Exactly. Yeah, don't steal other people's parsley. That's the moral of the story. And now, when you go to a restaurant, everybody leaves the parsley on the plate.
Yeah, I know. The ogre might come.
Everything's inverted.
We got ogres. Yeah, ogres in this day and age. So that's Rapunzel. Yeah, like I said, it's not like last week where it was like shockingly deep stuff.
No, but you know what, though? It makes me ask a question about, because ogres are present in many of these stories. And they've even made, like, Shreks about an ogre. Do you think they really existed? And if they did, what do you think they were?
Ogres.
Like, but what's an ogre to you? Like, we've been taught that ogres are like cannibals, and they're violent, and they're big, and they just want to smash you with a giant hammer, and they're grumpy. But what do you think they really were?
Well, they were big. I know that right for a start they would have been giants, what we call giants, so very, very tall. Back in the day, lots of versions of things with 2 legs and 2 arms run around.
Do you think they had green skin?
Well, they might have, man. They could have very well have green skin. They could have come from under the underworld, under the earth. They could have come from another place.
Oh, this is making
There's reality in those stories.
What if ogres were able to photosynthesize their own food from the sun through their skin, and they didn't eat a single human being ever? That's why they're green.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everything's inverted, Luna.
Yeah, I know. Anything that humans can't understand, we tend to label it with it's bad because we're afraid.
Exactly.
Instead of going, oh, hang on, there's another living entity here, and it was probably here before us. So
right.
Let's have some respect. It was like the camels, like we're culling the wrong species, Oh, there's too many camels, let's get rid of them. But there's too many of other things too, and we don't get rid of them.
Oh, you guys are the worst for that. We have too many of this. Let's bring in an animal that doesn't belong here.
Oh,
well, now we have too many of those. Let's bring in a different animal. You guys, you're the living continent version of the old lady that swallowed a fly.
What's the definition of insanity? When you keep using the same bloody thing to solve a problem and it don't work?
That's funny.
Oh dear.
There's always unintended consequences, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know.
We've got to get to that story at one point. We've got to do the old lady that swallowed a fly.
Oh yeah, that's where it comes into the limericks and stuff. Yeah, that's why I said there's another version. There's not just the stories.
Right.
We've got it moves into another version, which we'll get to. Yeah. All right. What have we got here? What have I got in front of me? Snow White.
Oh yeah.
I think we talked about Snow White
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cinderella we didn't talk about.
That's
so yeah,
right.
I'll just quickly go back over Snow White. We talked about it last week. she was actually from a rich family, and they owned mines, and they didn't like her. She was probably a very happy person. They didn't like her. They sent her to another place, but on the way she stayed with the children that were forced to work in the mines, the little orphans. They were the seven dwarfs. But they were children. And then when she got to where she was going, staying at someone else's rich house in another country, they poisoned her. That's the true story behind. But we kind of covered that before.
Yeah,
Snow
there
White.
were I think we got into some little bit of some biblical references as well.
Yeah.
With the number 7 and the apple that puts her to sleep, and and we went into I think we went into like how a lot of these stories tend to portray the villain as being a woman, which is kind of like I guess maybe for somebody who doesn't like the Bible, that's the angle that they would take, which is an interesting thing to think about when you see female villains. I'm not saying that they're not capable of being evil. What I'm saying is that it's interesting that when you're a child being read these stories, often the evil stepmother or the witch or you know what I'm saying?
In my opinion, an evil woman is worse than an evil man because the woman holds the nurture, so she's portraying nature itself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, it's
And
you can
there's
go
a
down a
saying-
lot of different rabbit holes
Yeah,
with
you
that
can.
kind of angle, but we won't do that today because we'll keep it light in the greenhouse.
Yeah, okay. So, and I got a saying, the word mother on the lips of children is like God on the lips of angels.
That's a good quote.
All right.
I like that.
So, what do we got? What are we looking at here? Oh, that's right, Cinderella. There's not much. Basically, the story of Cinderella, which we'll go through. I'm looking for the adversy stuff, you know. It just says here, another Brothers Grimm. Grimm put out a lot of stories,
Yeah,
didn't they?
they
The
did.
Grimms.
Yep. So did Mother Goose. So did Aesop. And I'm sure there's other. I mean, you could almost say that Dr. Seuss was even on the same level as this stuff.
Yeah, that's a whole different area, Zeus's stories. So, in the original version, Cinderella made a wish on a tree that grew out of her mother's grave. We weren't told that.
Yeah, that's a twist.
And the relationship with her dad was funny, and he did get remarried, and he never stopped the abuse that his wife put on her.
Well, yeah, she had the stepsisters. See, Cinderella to me taught me about divorce.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it really did. Like, stepsisters, that's weird. I have step siblings too.
He told me about watch out for some of your siblings.
My question was when my parents were reading me Cinderella, my question was, how many times was Cinderella's mom married?
Yeah, I wondered that too.
I guess people got married more than once back then too. I don't know.
It depends how rich you were back then. It was. Oh no, there's a lot of stigma around that because I've watched some things where if you were divorced, you were shunned. And
yeah,
even if it
used
wasn't
to be
your fault.
stigmatized. It used to be stigmatized.
Yeah.
Now it's like just an easy way for people to make money.
Money.
Yep.
Oh, tell me about it. I've
Lawyers.
actually seen that.
Lawyers love
I've
divorce.
seen that in real life. I've seen gold digger women. I've seen some women go in to some of my mates and, yeah, take everything. I'm like, and then move on to someone else. I'm like, oh, my God.
And then they do the same thing to them too.
Yeah, and
I
it's
mean,
like...
some women make an actual astounding career out of doing this.
Yeah. And some of them end up by themselves at the end of the run because everyone figures out what they're doing. But, yeah, I've seen that happen.
They should have.
I've seen it both
You know
ways,
what?
but
These women should have read Rumpelstiltskin.
yeah, they should have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
They-
Maybe they
they
wouldn't.
didn't get
Yeah,
it.
then they wouldn't think they could get something from nothing.
Yep. Without a price.
You always got to pay the bill at some point.
Yeah, you do. But and you know, it's not so much as a bill, but an energy exchange. And the easiest way to see the energy exchange is look at water. It's nice and still, and then you put your hand in the water, and you'll see ripples, and the ripples will go out and come back, and I'll show you exactly how it works. It's no great. You don't need a university degree to figure it out.
That's actually the simplest way I've ever heard anyone describe that. Like, if you want to tell somebody that their energy that they put out there is affecting the world around them, and you want them to visualize it, that's the perfect analogy. Everyone can understand what happens to water when you put your hand in it. I mean, how come there isn't a nursery rhyme or a fairy tale that has that at its root for the narrative? You know what I mean?
Or maybe because in them days they all realised it, and today we lack in common sense.
Yeah, there's definitely a lack of that for sure. And also people, if you told somebody to write a book now and handed them a pencil and some paper, they first of all wouldn't be able to spell, and second of all, there would be no punctuation. The grammar would be horrible. Like, I mean, if you hand somebody a something that's written in cursive writing now that's under, I'd say, 20 years old, they don't know what that is. They're going to think that's like Arabic.
Arabic.
No, it's cursive. It's English. It looks like Arabic. What do you want me to read that?
Are you cursing me?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny they call it cursive, cursing me?
That is weird, actually. Yeah. Words are spells, right?
Did you know that AI can't read cursive writing, by the way?
Well, you can read it. You can read it on this show. No one cares.
Yeah. I watched this thing this morning where they gave kids an exam paper from 1950 and they all failed. And I'm thinking, but back then they just taught you basic maths, English, like it was just basic stuff, right? In the school. Maths, English, reading and writing, and they all failed the test.
Wow.
And that was over 50 years ago. Like, oh, yeah, I'm thinking, what are they teaching these kids? They need to read more. They need to read Cinderella. Anyway.
Some of the
lessons. Did you know there was a Chinese version of Cinderella?
Oh, is that the rabbit that's on the moon or something like that?
No, a Chinese version of Cinderella had no godmother, no fairy godmother. It had a magical fish instead.
A magical fish?
And a golden shoe. Yep, and a golden shoe.
Instead of a glass slipper.
Yep.
And you know what? In the movie, it's not really a slipper. It's like a stiletto.
Yeah, I know. Actually, there's a name for them. What are they called?
We used to just call them high heels.
High heels, yeah. There's a certain name. I think they're called pumps because they're closed in.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not a high heel. It's a closed-in high heel. There's actually a name for it. Yeah.
Insider baseball in the shoe department, if anybody's interested in what actual shoes are supposed to be called.
There's someone out there that knows all the names.
Yeah, there is, that's funny, there is.
We call them a court shoe here. A shoe like that's filled in with a high heel, we call it a court shoe in Australia. But I think in America they call them pumps. I don't know.
So the thing that's interesting about that story is there's only one foot that fits in that shoe or slipper or stiletto or whatever you want, boot, whatever you want to call it. And that's weird because when you buy shoes today, they're like there's lots of people with the same size feet as you. Like, how do they know they got the real Cinderella?
Yeah, you got a point there.
How do you know you got the real Cinderella? Anybody's foot could have fit in that fucking shoe.
And not only that, you only had one shoe, and if everyone measures their feet, one side of your body's slightly different to the other.
Yep.
So you might have got the wrong shoe on the wrong foot.
That happens. Some people don't even realize they're wearing their shoes on the wrong feet until I tell them.
Yeah.
Usually they're a lot younger, but...
And some shoes don't have a foot. Some shoes you can buy and you can put them on either feet.
You reminded me of a
really
true.
Bad I'm not
joke
kidding
that
you
I'm
there.
going to try not to tell you right
now.
now.
Okay. I was going to say, because that wasn't supposed to be a joke.
You remember those? Do you remember those alien jokes? You know, with the aliens that are like smoking a joint in the pit, like they're supposed to be helping take over the Earth, and they're like, they're off
love
in the
them,
side
Ollie.
and those jokes, they're like so bad, but it's funny because they just laugh all the time. It's one of those jokes. I'm not gonna do it today. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow.
Oh, I love them, Polly. They're so funny because they whisper them like laughter's illegal or something.
Yeah, because they don't want to get caught. Yeah, they don't want to get caught telling bad jokes. They don't want
think
anyone
I'm
to
one
know
of them.
that they find that funny. Yeah, no, it's funny.
But they are funny.
They're
They're
hilarious.
funny as. I laugh my
Yeah.
head off. Yeah.
Fair warning, they're dad jokes mostly, people. But
Yeah.
so
They're good
why don't we
jokes.
take a quick
All right.
break? We'll come back at 4:20 and shout out the chat room, and then you've got something that you've actually been writing, and I don't know if we'll take up the rest of the show with that, but if you want to share anything about that when we come back about what you wrote.
Okay.
You wrote a story. I'm not saying it's a fairy tale, but you wrote something, right?
Yeah, I did.
So-
Actually, what we'll talk about is the funny, weird things what happened while I was writing the story.
Yeah, that would be cool. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that's what we'll do when we come back. But for now, listeners in the greenhouse, and you do have about 12 minutes to get yourself over to groundzeroplus.com and sign up, get in the chat room. That means you're in the greenhouse. Also, some other cool stuff happening there today, which I'll get to after I shout out the greenhouse. But for now, here's some tunes in the greenhouse, Polynation broadcast. I'm your host, Polly, sitting here with Luna, and we'll be right back after some tunage, underground sounds, of course, only on the Polynation broadcast, groundzeroplus.com.
smells from laboratories facing a dying nation of moving paper fantasies, listening for the new told lies with supreme visions of longitude. Somewhere inside something there is a rush of greatness. Who knows what stands in front of our lives, our fashion, my future on films in space. Silence tells me secretly everything, everything.
GroundZeroPlus.com. I'm your host, Polly. I'm with my good friend Luna today in the greenhouse, just chilling, talking about nursery rhymes, fairy tales, old lore, and its origins, why it still applies to today. And it is that time today, 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the time I stop the show and shout out the chat room over here at GroundZeroPlus.com. And today, and Zoe says hello too, to all of you in the chat room that come out every week and make the show fun and entertaining for not only me, but for everybody else in the chat room. A lot of bright people in here, including today, Chris France from the UK. Rich Rounds is here. Good to see you, Rich. Host of the Rich Rounds show on Sunday. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking on this. I'm so sorry, Rich. Anyways, it's on the host page. You can check that out. Oh, I feel so bad for not remember. I still can't remember it. Somebody put it in the chat room, please. That's embarrassing. Aniki's in there, the gift queen. Yay, Aniki, get me out of this embarrassing moment, please. Lisa's in there as well. Good to see you, Lisa. Mike Mont, he's a guest in the greenhouse occasionally. He'll be back at some point, trust me. We got a lot to talk about still. Datsun Focus is in there. Still sober AF. Keep it up, bro. Sonny's in there. Good to see you, brother. PPP. Speaking of P, there's Chris P, new member. Probably waiting for what I think is good is happening after the show, which I'll get to in a minute. Still not done shouting out the greenhouse. We got Mitch Durbin in here. Beekeeper's here. We have Rich Smith also. And Matt and Amber is here as well. One of the brightest lights in the greenhouse. That rounds out the... Oh, and of course, also, Luna's here. She's not in the greenhouse, but she's here in the greenhouse in all other ways except digitally. which is the last... Yeah, that's the last form you want of anything anyways. So that we're glad to have you, Luna. Thanks for coming out today.
Thanks for having me, everyone.
Oh, it's a fascinating topic to dive into these old stories that most people grew up, like at least, somebody's reading a book to you while you're going to sleep as a child. And it's one of these stories probably that I hope we get to all of them at some point. But speaking of stories, you've dabbled.
I have. I don't know where it come from, but it came out of me, and I wrote what I call a campfire story, because how can I put it? A lot of my friends are just ordinary people, and they like stories that aren't too long and that are really interesting, like watching a movie for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I wrote one. The funny thing about how it come about, I have to pay my dues to my son and my brother Donnie. Donnie's a knowledge keeper, Aboriginal man, and my son, obviously, he's Aboriginal because of my son. I was yarning to both of them, and out of yarning to them came this story, and it's called Woven. And writing the story, I did it over a year. I took my time because I've never done anything like it. And for avid readers, it's a basic thing. Like if they read it, it's very basic, because I'm not a writer, but I needed to tell the story. So I told it just like I'm talking to you now. Mm-hmm. But while I was writing the story, Polly, over the year, nearly every chapter has something in it that happened in real life. And it freaked me out. Like I'm thinking, am I writing reality here, or what the hell is going on? I just think it was upstairs way of having a joke with me.
Very
so
interesting.
Things like
because I think even the stories we were just talking about, I'm sure you could relate it back to a certain person's experience in life.
Yeah.
So it's so what are you trying to suggest here, that you didn't actually? Well, I mean, you're the one who put it on paper and put it in and manifested it. But are you suggesting that it came from somewhere else? That you didn't actually write it? That it was like basically a gift?
Yeah, it felt like I got installed with a chapter.
Yeah, that's
I sat
cool.
down, wrote the chapter, and then I'd get installed. I'd wait. this is why it took so long. I'd wait and I'd get installed with the next one because I had no idea what I was doing. Remember, I've never wrote anything.
Right.
And my people are oral people. We're not writers. There's nothing written in history. It's
Exactly.
all oral stories, right?
That, you know what? Can we just take a little pause on that for a minute? I read somewhere that, and I want to know if this is true from your perspective, because I'm only going to trust somebody that I know from there, and I trust you clearly because of your origins and how you grew up and your traditions and everything. That you don't actually write anything down. The only time you do, it's in stone.
Yep.
Why is that?
And we have things called message sticks. We put symbols on a stick, and then the runner would carry it to say, I want to send you a message. You know, you were up the road.
Mm-hmm.
The runner would carry the stick to you, and you'd read the stick, and it'd tell you whatever the message was. And
well,
yeah, that's
the reason
how
I'm
we do it.
asking why that sort of I don't want to call it an avoidance of written language and stories, but don't you find a little bit of an irony in the fact that you're actually writing something down and putting it on?
Yeah.
Is that
What do you think? That's why,
So-
that's why I never did it.
right? So like, did you have to like come to some sort of like a reconciliation for that, or like how important is it to not write stuff down in that Aboriginal tradition?
All right, so in my story, it's a mixture. It's a made up story. Okay, well, I think it is. I thought it was.
Right. Often
It's a
truth is
made-up
stranger
story.
than fiction, anyways. So yeah.
So there's only a few people that would know what's real and what isn't in there, and I've made it so it's up to you to figure it out. A lot of the story is up to you. I wanted a story. Like I said, I'm talking to you right now, and it's just like that. I'm telling you stuff, and you're figuring the rest out for yourself. So each individual will probably have a different version of the characters in their mind, and a different way of approaching it. But I'm not allowed to really. Well, I'm not supposed to write stuff that we know on paper and give it out to the public. So it's up to you what's real and what isn't real. Only, like I said, a few people know. So it's got a big question mark on it. And I'm not going to tell you what's real and what isn't real because I'll get into trouble.
Right.
So I've left it that way. So if anyone says anything, it's like, well, it's just a made-up story.
Okay,
Okay,
so
but
so it's definitely fiction.
Yeah.
That's okay. So
all right.
we'll put it in that box because people, in order for them to relate to a book, we have to put it in a box
Yeah.
first before they even open it.
Yes. Yes.
So it's
And,
it's a fictional book, but it's based on traditional ideas from like tens of thousands of years ago.
Yeah, yes, and it's like a paranormal, spooky, spiritual thing, but it's
Okay.
also just everyday life. The things about it, though, the first part I wrote, I rang up Donnie, and I'd ring him up at intervals, and he would ring me. So it was like this cool. We both contributed to this book. I'd ring him up, and I went, I just wrote in the old fella that lives outside of town. And I described him, and he goes, Luna. I went, yeah, bro. He goes, there's actually a real person that lives outside of town that fits that description. I went, you're kidding me. He goes, no, that's
Wow.
true. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So I didn't let that stop me. I just kept writing. The next thing was there's a scene where, and Donnie's in this book. I've got his permission to be in the book, all right? So one of the characters is actually based on him.
One of these days, Donnie's going to come in the greenhouse. He's got to come in.
Oh,
If he
getting in, yeah.
even if you bring him in, we could do a three-way call somehow. Maybe we could figure that out.
Try something.
That would
See,
be cool.
Donnie lives out in the country, so he hasn't got the availability of all the great U-Butte technology
Right.
that we have.
Yeah, he's a simple man.
Yeah. So there's one part where Donnie takes out these young fellas and does a bit of a ceremony with them, and I had to consult Donnie on this. And I said, all right, there's things in the story, there's things that you use. Can you describe them for me so I can write them in the story? So here he is on the phone for half an hour describing these stones. And I'm thinking, okay, so I wrote them in the story, and then a couple of days later, I went out to country. What we call country is the place where my ancestors come from, right? We drove out there, and I'm walking around, and I'm picking up rocks, and I picked some up, and I brought them home. And you're not supposed to, but they said they wanted to come with me, so it's okay. And lo and behold, I'm looking at these rocks, and one of them is like exactly what Donnie described to me, and I wrote in the book. And I'm looking at this rock thinking, oh no, there's another thing that come into reality.
Did it say
This is
help on the
weird.
rock?
No, it says, hello, I want to be with you. And I go, can I take you home? And then you hear yes or no. And it's just like this little tiny voice. To me it is. It's like a little tiny voice that goes, hello, I'm over here, hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it'll say, pick me up and look at me, but then put me back. You know, it's just depends. So anyway, the rock come out real. I'm thinking by now there's 2 of these incidences where something's come out real. I'm thinking, okay, I'll just keep writing. What was the next thing? The crows.
That's so strange because a lot of writers report the same experiences.
Wow.
Especially when it's writers that don't write for a living, or maybe it's their first or second try at a book or whatever, and they explain that a lot of the stuff that goes in the book ends up happening while they're writing the book.
Yeah, that's what's happening. It's scary.
Which is crazy to think about.
It's
Like,
mad.
what kind of communication do you think is going on here?
I don't know, but I said to my friend who read it through for me, I went, I forgot to put something at the end. She goes, what? I said that we become millionaires.
Oh, that's good.
It was just a joke. So the next thing that come in, I didn't write that in the book, but I should have because everything's coming out.
You can always rewrite it.
Yeah, no, it's all good. The next thing that come out, there's crows in the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's 3 crows in particular. As soon as I finished writing that chapter on these crows, I went for a walk and there's 3 crows screaming at me in the trees. I'm thinking, oh, righty-go. I went into the shopping centre, what you call plaza, right? And in the middle of the shopping centre, there's a fountain and a tree in the middle of the shopping centre, a small tree and a fountain. And lo and behold, there's 3 crows sitting on the roof inside the shopping centre going, crow, crow at me.
Wow.
And I'm looking at it and went, oh, my God, there's another thing that came out of my story. I'm thinking, all right, but I didn't let this waver me. I just kept writing. And
At the time that these were happening, were you making the connection? Like, isn't that weird that I was just writing
noticed
about
it, yeah.
that? And then, like, so
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
okay,
I
so you
noticed
did
it.
make the connection. There was like a conscious awareness of it.
Yeah, it was. And I was worried at that time because of the nature of the story. I'm like, oh my God, I hope the rest of it don't come out. Anyway, there were a couple of other small things, but the last thing, I gave myself a deadline to finish this story. Okay, I didn't know at the end of the story we got this thing called Tamworth Country Music Festival, and it's at the end of the story. I didn't realise till yesterday that my friend rang up and we were talking about it, and she goes, did you know the Tamworth Country Music Festival is on this weekend? I'm like, you're kidding, I just ended the story, the last chapter,
Wow.
on the Tamworth Country Music Festival. I had no idea that it was this week, and yeah, it was really weird. It ended at the same time.
That's
So,
crazy.
It is, it's mad, and it's like, wow, I love this story. So what I'm doing, because it's still a rough sketch and not been edited properly to put in the book, and I'm still waiting for my pictures to come in. On Discord, I've put an invitation because after I finish this show an hour later, I'm going to read it out to some of our friends, some of our close friends.
Yeah.
And if you want to invite, you have to go to Polly's Discord, and there's an invite in there because it's not available to the public yet.
Not yet,
And,
because we're still. You're looking for feedback here in this reading, right? Like,
Yep.
yeah. So,
a lot too, because it's an Australian story.
well, it's really
and I don't-
brave that you're actually sharing. Like, I mean, I think it's one of the bravest things that a writer can do is publish something, because once it's out there, that's it.
It's out there.
It's out
I
there.
know.
That's it. Like, it's out there forever, almost. I mean, well, It's not
Yeah,
though,
and
unless
in
you write it in
Australia-
stone. But yeah, I mean, it's a brave thing to do, to share that kind of stuff, and
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear it, because knowing the way your mind works, there's probably going to be some twisty things in there, or some synchronicity things in there that are going to make you think
Yes.
twice.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, slightly off topic, but not. Rich Rounds in the Greenhouse chat, which I totally forgot the name of his show. It's Cryptic Dark Side. I've
cool.
listened to it a bunch of times. I think I just have a hunch that this story would be right up Rich Rounds' alley.
It probably would be by the name.
Yeah.
What you just told me.
I think he would be very interested in that. So
Yep.
I'll connect you guys, because I think that would
Yep.
be a really cool thing to hear. So when are you considering this a finished project at this point? Like, is it done?
Basically, like I said, the editing has to be done, because to see it in black and white, it's messy, but to talk about it is easy. It needs stuff done to it that I don't know about, because I'm not a book writer. It's apparently spacing and all that stuff, and so that needs to be done. And what I'm feeling, there will be another one after it, but when you hear the story, it can go so many ways. So I'm just putting the feeling out there. And basically, Polly, I'm really doing it because I wanted to give people a story that they could listen to and go, wow, thank you, I really enjoyed that. I want them to have a beautiful experience,
Right.
something they can enjoy, because the world's so womba at the moment, crazy.
It is, yeah.
We need to, there's not much we can enjoy, and I thought, here's something a bit paranormal, and not many people know about our culture. And, just for people to enjoy. I don't care if it actually ends up in a book or I've got to read it on YouTube and let everyone have it either way. But before I do any of those, I'd like to know if it could be a shit story,
Well, I guess we'll find out. Later.
We'll find out. Please be honest, that story sucked. Tell me.
I'm sure it's amazing. I can't wait to hear it. And also, have you considered, when everyone thinks of writing a book, at the end of the day, they think of having a copy of like a book in their hand with like a hardcover or whatever, and a piece of artwork on the front that you open up and you got to read whether you're on the bus or whatever. I don't know if we necessarily need those anymore, because a lot of people can just listen to a book now. And
Yes.
have you considered how you're going to be able to share this book? Because I think it would be really good. This is just my personal opinion, because we're like really good friends, and I think you have a good voice, and I think that if you're going to do a book and read it, it should be your voice reading it. Like, even though you're not like confident in your reading abilities or whatever, like out loud, because some people, they can read but they can't speak and read at the same time, sort of thing, where people stumble on words, and but I think it would be advantageous and a better delivery if it was your voice delivering the story. I think people would really appreciate that.
Oh, look, that's why I'm more just tempted. Once I'll clean it up and let it go for people, and I will do that, because I've written it in Australian dialect, so you've virtually got to have an Australian accent to speak it out, like to read it properly.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll be saying it wrong. It won't have the same impact. And there's words in there that we use that I don't know how the rest of the world is. With the words we use, I don't really care, because that's the way the story is. But
right.
Other people might not say them words right. So, and some are, I know exactly what you're saying, Polly. And the general census is to go that way. Everyone says, "Oh, I love listening to you." Do it that way, and I'm thinking, all right, that is the general census.
And
honestly,
this book
isn't.
From a practical standpoint, it's actually easier to achieve that than it would be to try to get like some sort of a publishing deal out of a book company. You know what I'm saying?
it's a lot cheaper.
It's definitely a lot cheaper, yeah. But it's also like you're the one that's in control of it, and you can
Yeah,
share it
yeah.
with wherever you want. It could be on X, it could be on YouTube, it could be in Discord, it could be wherever, or it could be nowhere. Like
Yeah.
you get to decide where it goes, and no one's going to be like telling you what to do. Well, you know, if you want to put it in this publishing area, you want to sell books in this city, you got to change this or change that or what. Nah, you don't want to deal with that. I know you.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. No, I'm simple. Well, that's why I'm doing it this way. So if you go to Polly's Discord channel,
Yeah, I'll throw
There's
that.
an-
I'll throw that link in
yeah.
the greenhouse. But most people in the
There's an
greenhouse already
invitation
know
in
it's
there.
there. But
yeah,
anyone in
and
the
it's about
greenhouse
it.
that has that link, feel free to share it with whoever you think would be interested
Yeah.
in hearing this, because
Please
it's
do.
going to be good.
Because if you like it, I will. I'll go that way.
Yeah.
I can set it up, so I'll just read them out. And we are an oral people. I prefer to do it that way. And the way I've written it is exactly like that. I want to tell you a story, and I'll just start telling you the story.
Well,
I'm
that's-
actually in there.
That's
but
another
you don't
reason
know who
why
I am.
you should do it orally is because your people don't write things down. So you're just going to have to
Yeah.
shut up and listen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking as like we talk here, right, when we get together and we have a yarn, they're speaking to each other is better because you can feel the energy in real time. When it's written down, you've got to make the energy to match the words. But when it's in real time and we're speaking, you can feel the energy.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Yep.
a better experience.
Agreed.
So-
100%.
I'll see how it goes. But yeah, I like to be free and set things free. And I need to set this story free so I can write the next one. So, and it's not a long story. It's only about 2 hours long. When
And
you
it's-
read it,
Again, it's
campfire
called
story.
Woven, right?
Woven, yeah, because I'm a
Okay.
weaver, by the way. I'm a traditional weaver. And I've got to tell you, part of the story come about that way. It was a joke. My son rang up and goes, Mum, I had a nightmare that you passed away and a truckload of dilly bags turned up, and we just started laughing our heads off because I weave dilly bags, and he goes, you're the scary dilly bag lady, and I'm like, oh my God, that'd make a good story.
Okay. See, right
But
there,
I'm not the
right
dilly
there,
bag lady in the
you just
story.
gave people a clue as to
Yeah.
the dark humor that's going to be found in this
Yeah.
story. Because if you know the way Luna's mind works, trust me, this is going to be a good one, and I can't wait to hear it. Luna, when do you think you'll be able to come back? Because we've got so many other stories to come, like to
We have.
dissect, and not just the stories, but nursery rhymes, cliche
Yeah,
sayings that come from
yeah.
all of these things. I mean, there's so much
Yes.
to get into, and no one else is
Different
doing it.
branches.
No
No, I
one
know
else is
different
doing it.
branches we've got to go into. Yeah, I like it because we pull out wisdoms and to see things presented one way and find out they were actually presented a different way before. And it's like, hang on, you know, what are they doing to it?
And
yeah,
and
that's
they're
what I
actually
found
being
about-
they're actually being presented in the same in a different way now, but it's still the same story, but no one recognizes it.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes me wonder what else is going to happen like that in the future. You know,
Well, maybe some of these stories are meant to be warnings.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
maybe
So-
the stories will revive.
So okay, you know we'll be in touch. We're gonna have you
Okay.
back on the in the greenhouse as soon as we can. So whenever it's convenient for you, you've got a golden ticket. You can come back whenever you want.
Yep.
So I guess what I really want to say is thank you again for coming on. It's always a pleasure. And I also wanted to say, which I forgot to mention earlier, that yes, there is a Ground Zero Plus Zoom meeting for members only. That is, the link is in the greenhouse chat room now. I've had a few questions about that and forgotten to answer it. So for that, I apologize. But it's there. Yes, it's going to happen. I'll be there. Luna, what time are you going to do your reading on Discord?
In about an hour after we finish now, like we'll be finished in a
okay.
minute, about an hour I've got to set up and yeah, do some stuff because I got up early.
Is
So
Donnie gonna
an
be
hour
there?
black filler time. Yeah, we are. That's what I was just going to say. An hour black filler time because I'm going to have to try and get Donnie hooked up to some sort of technology.
Black fella time. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
cancelled for you saying that.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I
No,
mean.
it's
Like, that's
okay.
normal here to say.
I'm just kidding.
right?
No, I'm just kidding. You're not gonna get cancelled.
So I'll
That's
get
so
him
funny.
hooked up from the country. I got some of the original crew from old Kev's show coming to help us out. You might be there if you got time after your meeting. It depends.
Yeah, I'll
By the
drop
time
by.
we get going, you'd be well and finished, I reckon, and we'll still be there driving the truck.
Oh, I'll drop in. If you guys are still there, I'll
Yeah.
be there.
And yeah, and anyone else who wants to come, you're quite welcome. Yeah, it should be fun. We'll have a break in between, and we got some friends there that'll keep you laughing, and you get to talk to Donnie in between. Whether we do a part 1 and part 2 depends on how much of a good time everyone has.
Right.
And other than that, yeah, me and Polly will probably set another date behind scenes. And
Yes,
until
definitely.
then, everyone, yeah, love to you on this day. Stay centered, stay strong, and I'll catch you later.
And what do we do?
And
We don't
thank
say
you for inviting me again, Polly.
we don't say goodbye. What do we say again?
Yalu.
Yalu, that's it.
It means I'll see you next time. There
Yeah.
is no goodbye.
There is
Yeah,
no
Yalu.
goodbye. It's only Yalu.
Yama's g'day, and
I love
yep,
it.
Yalu is I'll
It's
see
so
you
much
next
better
time.
than goodbye. It's the same amount of syllables, but it's less sad.
The meaning's better. Yeah, yeah.
I guess that's the only way I can describe it. It's less sad. Yalu. It's like it's almost as
Yalu.
nice as hello. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Yalu,
Yeah.
and you can wave too.
Oh, amazing. Your laugh is contagious, Luna. Much love to you on this day as well. And we will see you soon.
thank you.
Thanks for coming on again, everybody in the greenhouse. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. In about 15 minutes, there will be a live Zoom meeting with, well, I'll be there, but mostly Clyde will be there. And I can't wait to get an update, see how he's doing. So we'll see you in a bit, folks. Thanks for tuning in. And also, I'll see you tomorrow for part 2 of the 80s. I can't help it because I want to pay tribute to Midnight Oil. So yeah, see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Polynesian Broadcast. My name's Polly. I guess I'll say I'm signing off for a bit. GroundZeroPlus.com.